What's up guys, welcome back. I'll be honest, I wasn't even going to do a video on this, however I'm so impressed by the results of doing headlight number 1 with this restoration kit. I thought I'd do a video on doing headlight number 2. So this is a Cerakote Ceramic Headlight Kit. I've just done this one and I'm yet to do this one. I mean, you don't need to go to Specsavers to see the difference in these two, and it was so easy to do. The only thing that I'm a little bit annoyed about, and now I've done the front, which is absolutely mint, the bit that is still a little bit dirty and misty is the bit that's actually on the inside, which I can't get to unless I separated the headlight or tried to take the bulb out and jet wash it inside. I don't know, it's just going to lead to disaster, but it's a lot better than it was. Now it comes with 8 of these to wipe down the headlight first of all before you start. I've only used 3, and because I'm a cheapskate, I've also done the backlight at the same time. So I didn't even clean the headlight before I started, so that's pretty dirty. Then I used this one on the front light and the back light, this one on the front light and the back light. The only thing I've done extra that isn't in the kit, what I would recommend, is some water to wash it down when you get to the next step, because you get 2 of these. You get a P2000, these are the ones I've used already. So this is a P2000 and then followed by a P3000. And then if you get excited with sanding, you probably want to use some masking tape, which I've done around this light, just so that when you're sanding and when you're using the wipes at the beginning, ideally don't get it on the paintwork. This has been rattle canned a bunch of times, so I was more worried about the paint coming off of this than anything. It comes with some gloves, which I haven't used, and my hands aren't falling apart, all the skin's not coming off. And then obviously a cloth, because you've got to make sure that it's super dry before you put the clear coating on. Now the ceramic coating you get at the end, you only get 2 of these, obviously 1 for each light. I've used this one on the front light and the back light, and it still seems there's loads and loads of products still in it, so I've put it back in the bag because I'm going to use this one on the other side and the back light, and then I'm going to use this one because I'm going to do my missus' car as well. So before we get going on headlight number 2 on the Porsche / MX-5, first of all going to mask it off. There you go, it's all masked off. I've actually popped the bonnet, so obviously you don't need to mask then the top bit around there. So this is wipe number 1, well it's not wipe number 1, it's actually wipe number 4 from the other side. And then basically you just keep going over this and try and get as much of the yellow off as possible, and then basically just do this a couple of minutes with 2 or 3 other wipes if you're going to be a cheapskate like me and try and use it to do a couple of cars. Don't look too bad. And then remember, if you're doing the cheapskate version, don't forget to do the rear lights as well. Right, number 2. Right, I'm actually going to stop at 2 wipes. I've done the front light and the back light with 2 pads, and that's not looking so yellowy anymore, and there's not much more coming off on that. So now we're going to get to the sanding. So the first one you go for is the red one, which is a P2000. Obviously it's easier to line up when you're not trying to film yourself, but we've done it. That's got quite nice and soft and rubbery as well. And then basically that's where your water comes in, squirt it down, get it all wet, and then get sanding. And then basically if you keep going for about 2 or 3 minutes until your arm hurts, and then switch arms, and then keep going until your arm hurts, and then switch arms, and keep it wet. Old headlight tears running down there. And then obviously when you're happy with the front, go and do the back. The pad's actually really nice and soft, so even if your lights aren't completely flat, it does really well on ironing out all the lumps and the bumps. Again, more headlight tears down there. And then it's off with the 2001 and on with the blue 3001. Oh, not bad one-handed, look at that. It says in the manual if you go side to side with the first pads, then go up and down with the second pad, but I'll be honest, I kind of went all directions with both of them. Doesn't seem to make much difference. And you'll feel it getting more and more slippery as you do it. It ends up being like really... Now, I don't think you can overdo it. These pads, I wouldn't call it sandpaper, it's so fine, so I don't think you can overdo it, but you could probably underdo it, so I think it's probably better to go a little bit too much than not enough. And then once you're satisfied or your arm hurts too much, then we're going to do the back as well. Bosh. Wipe some of these tears away. Right, once you're happy, you've used both pads and that is now feeling nice and flat, then the last thing you're going to do is put the ceramic sealant stuff on, but it needs to be dry. So make sure it's super clean. I'm going to leave the masking tape on. Be careful though, because it can harbour a bit of moisture, but it also means that you're not going to get the ceramic sealant on your paintwork. I don't think there's enough to do the whole car, otherwise I'd have a go at that. And then get it dry, and because it's a lovely sunny day today, I'm actually going to go over it with this, go over it with another microfiber and the back as well, and then go and have a milky brew, and then by the time I've come back it'll be bone dry.
5 minutes later.
Right, we're back. Had a cup of tea. I'll be honest, cup of tea was a bit wet, so I had to have a biscuit with it as well, just to dry it down a bit. Now, we've got our ceramic wipe thing out. Now, remember, I've already done the other headlight and the back with this. I'll put it in a packet. It's still wet enough, and then literally, I've actually folded it in half. And then you go down that side, back the other way. And you're supposed to do it in a couple of lines, but I'll be honest, I think just slap it on. Beautiful. Look at that. And the back as well. I'll be honest, this side, because it's actually clean, this side's a bit dirty behind the light, but this side is clean behind the light, so this side actually looks even better. There you go. If you enjoyed that, I've got a bit of stuff on my fingers. If you enjoyed that, give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Put a comment in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll leave a link in the description where you can go and buy this kit, because this is the best kit I've used so far. And hopefully now we've put the ceramic sealant on there, it's actually going to stay that colour and not go all hazy again. See you on the next one, guys.